Hey everybody, JC here with another T&I toy review. And for today's review, I'm going to be taking a look at the first wave of 2017 5-inch Power Rangers movie figures from Bandai America. Now these figures come packaged in a pretty standardized packaging. You've got the Power Morpher in the background and the figures are clearly displayed on the card back. Then down below you've got the Power Rangers logo and the name of the character. So the first wave of figures includes Alpha 5, the Red Ranger, the Blue Ranger, the Pink Ranger, and the Black Ranger. And then on the back of the packaging, it shows us all the figures in the first wave, and then there's some blackened out images of additional figures that'll be released at a later date. Alright, let's get these open and take a look at what's inside. Okay, so here's a look at the figures outside the packaging along with the other contents. So the pink, black, and blue Rangers each come with this energy effect that'll fit over their hand, and this is done with a blue, semi-blue translucent plastic, and it's just got a little peg on inside that you can have the figure hold with their grip hand, and again it just fits over the fist. Each one for each figure, it's shaped a little bit differently, but basically does the same thing. So again, what you do is you just put that little peg and have them hold it like a gun or something, and it fits over their hand, so it looks like an energy effect going over their fist. Then the Red Ranger has an energy, looks like an energy blade type weapon, and again this is done with a blue semi-translucent plastic, and you've got the little handle that he holds on to, and you've got some ridges sculpted on the front of the blade, but overall it's pretty basic. And then the Alpha 5 figure does not come with any accessory at all. So for the figures themselves, I think they look pretty accurate to what we see in the movie, at least for a mass-produced 5-inch action figure line. I think they've done a pretty good job. Now with Alpha 5, I don't really like the look of this figure. It looks very different than the original Alpha 5, but this seems to be pretty accurate as far as the sculpting goes from the concept artwork that I've seen for the character from the movie. So I don't really blame the look of the character on the figure. It's more of the design from the movie itself. And to me, this looks like a giant turkey with a disc head. So that's the best way I can describe the look of this character. But again, that seems to be how he looks in the actual movie, so I can't really complain about the figure. For the head, he's just got this circular head, and he's got these gold metallic, looks like eyeballs, and again they're just painted with a gold metallic paint. And then he's got this ball on the top of his head, which is done with a silver metallic paint. He's got the red striping. The rest of the head is done with just a gray plastic. You've got a little bit of texturing here on the back part of the eyes, and then his neck is red, looks like a turkey neck. And then he's got this texturing throughout the body, which to me again looks like turkey skin, and he's got some red painted. Now I will say, based on the artwork that I've seen, it looks like they did kind of slack on the painting on the legs. The legs are just unpainted here, but on the actual concept artwork I've seen, he's got red, like this little piece that sticks up on his leg I think should be red, and again it looks like they just kind of left that unpainted. But otherwise I think they've done a pretty good job of capturing the character's likeness. So for the 3 male Power Rangers, it looks like we essentially have the same body mold used for all 3 figures, same design on the armor. You've got this kind of blue, almost looks like an arc reactor that you'd see on Iron Man on their chest, and then you've got some silver on their chest and on their shoulders, and again that's the same with all 3 figures. So, and the arms and the legs and the midsection all look the same, have the same sculpting. So again, it's just a reuse of the same body mold. The head sculpts are a little different between the 3 figures, so that's where they vary. But again, for the actual bodies, it's the same sculpt with just different paint applications. For the Pink Ranger, it is a different mold. It's a more petite looking mold, and she has, you know, the breasts and everything because again she is a female. But the armor design on the figure still looks like pretty much the same as the others. You've got the silver in the midsection, you've got the belt, you've got this little blue thing on their chest, and you've got the silver up near their shoulders and chest. So again, the design on all 3 armors looks very similar. And then you've also got some design work on the back of the figures. So the 4 Power Rangers all stand about the same height, and then Alpha 5 is a little bit shorter. Alpha 5 stands just a little bit under 4 inches, and then the other figures stand just a little bit over 5 inches. And while I don't have any other 5-inch Power Ranger figures to give you a comparison, here's a comparison with a few Marvel Universe figures from Hasbro, which are a little bit shorter. So articulation on the 4 Power Ranger figures is pretty much the same across the board. You can turn the head to the left and to the right. They really don't have any back or forth movement. Arms are attached with ball joints, so they have these shoulder pads that kind of stick up, so they can only get their arms out about that much. They do have good rotation, no bicep swivel, single hinged elbows, so they can bend their elbows about that much. No swivels at the elbow, no swivels at the wrist, no wrist articulation at all. No midsection articulation. Legs are attached with ball joints, so they can do the splits about that much, and they can get their leg forward good and can do their leg back about that much. No thigh swivel. Single hinge knee, so they can bend their knee about that much, and then no ankle articulation either, and no peg holes on the bottom of their feet. Alpha 5 has pretty much the same points of articulation as the others, but some of his leg movement is a little more limited because of the sculpting of the leg. So you can turn the head, the top of the head there, left and right, but again, no up or down movement. You can get the arms out about that much, good rotation. No bicep swivel, no swivel at the elbow, single hinged elbow, so can bend his elbow about that much, no wrist articulation, no midsection articulation, can only do the splits about that much because of the way the legs are sculpted, and then can get the leg kind of out and forward and out and back, no thigh swivel, single hinged knee, so can bend his knee about that much, no hinges on the feet, no articulation at the ankles, and no peg holes on the bottom of the feet. Okay, so that's my review. So overall, I would say these aren't bad figures. They are very basic. They have basic articulation, basic paint applications. I would say the sculpting and the overall look of the figures look to be pretty accurate for what we see in the movie. Again, not super detailed or anything. Again, this is a mass-produced 5-inch line, basically geared for younger kids. But I think, you know, they do a fairly decent job of capturing the look of the characters from the new movie. So if you're a fan of the new designs that we're seeing for this movie, then I think these will be ones that you'll want to pick up. Now, these figures are starting to hit shelves now. We'll have a full image gallery up at toynewseye.com. There'll be a link in the video description below. As always, leave a comment. Let us know what you think. If you're so inclined, please like the video. Also, if you haven't already, please follow me on my Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram accounts. I'll have links to those in the video description as well. And until next time, I'll catch you later.